Vibras? Because we know the Vibras.
Welcome back to another episode of the You Know the Vibras podcast. I'm the one and only Juan the Don, and as always, I'm accompanied by Michael Carrasco.
What's going
What's
on?
going on, guys? Hey, what's going on, my boy?
Hey, man, chilling. Just been relaxing all day
Word.
after, helping a friend move. But after that, man, it's been a good day.
Word. Well, we're gonna jump right into this really quick. Before we jump into this, I do want to say thank you guys for continuing supporting us. Thank you guys for liking the videos on all platforms that we are on. Thank you for watching or listening if you're doing those things, and thanks for the follow or the subscription or the subscribe. I'm not gonna say subscription because it sounds but thanks you guys for supporting us. We genuinely appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, make sure you do subscribe to us on YouTube or on any of the listening platforms. And if you aren't following us, make sure you follow us at the Vibras at YKTVIBRAS. Today is going to be a bit different. We always mention risk taking, and we wanted to dedicate an episode to it where it's simply, as you see in the title or in the thumbnail, is risk taking versus playing it safe. Keep that in the back of your head. That's going to be the conversation we're going to have, or a debate if you want to call it that. But before we get into that, a lot has been happening in the world.
Yeah.
I do want to mention, I didn't get to talk about it last episode. It might be a bit outdated to some, but I do want to give a shout out to Mexico. I do want to say something. Man, Mexicans in Chicago go crazy for the Independence Day, man. They shut the city down. I think I could say this with base. I think that it's the equivalent of like Dominicans in New York, with the parade and everything. Man, they go crazy. But I think Mexicans go harder. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like they have fireworks like in the middle of the street, freaking big trucks, people hanging out of the trucks, flags in every car. Man, they have a ton of pride. They literally shut the city down, bro. Like I'm really, really like it's crazy. I wish you would have seen it, man. It's wild. It's nuts, man. This is my first one dealing with it here in Chicago, and I'm like, man, this it's cool because you see that they really embrace their culture,
Right.
and the pride. They don't celebrate it. Did they celebrate it in Texas or no?
I think they did like certain things around here.
But did people drive with flags in their car or no?
I didn't see that much.
Damn, so that might be just a
At
Chicago
least,
thing.
At least where I'm at. But yeah, I didn't see too many flags.
Okay, that's weird. Yeah, because here I'm telling you, every car. Same thing with the Puerto Rican.
Right.
Wait, now that I think about it, no shade to Puerto Rico, but they're not celebrating independence. So what would they be celebrating here in the Puerto Rican parade? But they go crazy here. They go
the
crazy.
discovery of Puerto Rico. I think
they celebrate something. I don't know, but they go crazy too. But I don't know. It's not independence, but I don't know what they're celebrating. But shout out to Puerto Rico. But yeah, moving on as well, man. Today, man. As we speak, Sunday, a lot of eventful stuff in football has been going on. First thing, we started off with the eventful news of Usher being the halftime performer for this year's Super Bowl. How do you feel about that, man? How do you feel about Usher? How do you guys feel about Usher? Comment down below if Usher was the right choice, or who would you guys choose for your Super Bowl performance? Who do you think would be a better fit for the Super Bowl halftime show? This year's Usher. Who do you think? And I'll give my answer as well.
Yeah, didn't he do the halftime show? Not like this is gonna be his first time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good choice, but I feel like they could have picked a lot more people, right? I think on the group chat we were discussing maybe having like Bad Bunny, but then again, Bad Bunny doesn't have like a lot of
English,
like songs. But it will be good to bring like the Spanish speaking what do you call it, community into football for those that don't watch football. But I mean, I mean, there were a lot of other different options that I would say personally I would go with.
Who would you have chosen though?
Maybe like
one
Drake.
person. Okay, yeah, facts. That's who I would say.
Yeah, because I mean he's the like the biggest artist right now. Um
Yeah.
everything that he makes goes crazy. So
I mean, I could see him definitely doing it in the near future. I
hmm
think maybe he didn't do it for this Super Bowl because he's probably going to be super, drained from the
from the
shows,
tour.
the tour
Yeah.
he's doing. So I could definitely see him in the future. Drake was definitely would have been my choice, but I feel like they more so go for people that gonna give you like dancing. So it's always been like those pop,
Right.
dancers or
Yeah.
R&B. You know what I mean? Like, Bruno Mars, Weekend, Michael Jackson, people of that nature.
hmm
But Bad Bunny, I wouldn't count out either. Because he did do a slight performance when J Lo and Shakira did their thing.
hmm
That got a lot of backlash just because it was Spanish speakers or whatever. Uh,
Right, right.
but the
And
only
then,
way, like I was gonna say, the only way I could see Bad Bunny doing it is if it were in Miami again, or if it were in like a Spanish populated area. That way, tickets are gonna sell anyway. But for
right.
people to be more, invested in it, because not only do people in the United States watch the Super Bowl, there's people from all over throughout the world that don't even watch football during the year. They just turn it
The
on for
tune
the
in
halftime show.
for yeah.
It's such a huge. I remember in DR when I was there, people were telling me, "Wow, the Super Bowl!" Like, they were saying like they watched the Super Bowl. I'm like, "What the heck? This is crazy!"
Right.
Like, you would never
Right.
expect football in DR, but it's a
Last
thing.
place I would spend football, man.
Right. But I don't know. I mean, I definitely Usher has a ton of hits.
Oh
So I
yeah,
definitely
he
think
got a lot of
I think it's
hits.
gonna be a great show. Also,
You
Rihanna
think
got a lot of backlash. So I think, he's definitely has a low floor, going in. Like it's little things that he could do to mess up, because Rihanna has such much backlash from her performance
right.
due to her pregnancy and everything. So
Right, right. I do want to ask. Do you think he will bring that boy Romeo Santos on
I
stage?
was thinking that would be phenomenal, but I don't think so.
that
I
would
don't think
be
so.
that would be like the great song to end it with, bro.
Yeah, but I don't think he would do it. I don't think he'll do it, but it would be fire though. Romeo, I would wish Romeo would do a freaking halftime, but I doubt it. That would never be a
Nah,
thing.
that would be a draw, man. That would be
Yeah,
like
facts.
a far stretch right there.
Yeah, facts. I mean, Daddy Yankee could do a halftime show in the future.
True,
You know what I mean?
true.
They could just do like a Latin. I feel like if they do it in Miami again, they could do a Latin fusion. Like, bring out all the heavy
Mm-hmm.
hitters.
Nah,
But
that is
yeah,
true.
moving forward, keeping it in football. Um, recent victory from the Miami Dolphins, crazy number 70 to
Crazy.
20 against the Dolphins. First time in the home opener history for the Dolphins, or I think in general in NFL, for a team to put up 70 points, which is nuts. Wow,
Yeah.
that's a basketball score, look, lopsided basketball score.
Facts. Facts. Nah, I agree. They went crazy today. They went
Yeah,
crazy.
and this just goes to show you, man, we're living in an era where records are
Being
broken
broken.
I just keep getting broken, and they keep getting broken, and that goes with deals like, contracts, also
Mm-hmm.
records on the fields, and the sports themselves. It goes to show you like where the time and age where, the level of talent with these athletes that are coming through is like it gets better each and every year. And this is good for us because we get to, see the treat, unless you're a
Exactly.
Denver Broncos fan, and you're just like, you know what I mean?
Damn. Why
But
did it have to be us?
yeah, but I mean, it's cool and interesting, and it gives the sport more life, and it makes it more interesting for those that may think that the sport goes by slow or whatever. When you have a high scoring game like that, it keeps people engaged, so that's good.
Exactly.
In other
Exactly.
news, keeping it in football, we sound like TMZ or something. Travis Kelsey
Right?
and Taylor Swift's rumors of dating are officially official. She was
Mm.
spotted in Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, um, supporting Travis next to Travis's mom. So if you're next to Mom Dukes, you got to be official now.
You're
You
in
feel me?
there.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
in
you're
there.
in there.
Super super random relationship, but
Facts.
I think he shot his shot and it landed. So I mean that's cool. That's very
Yeah.
cool because Travis had a lot of backlash from his previous relationship. I think because I don't know if that I need to look it up, but how do you feel about this relationship while I look up the what Travis was going
Mm-hmm.
through? How do you feel about this this mix
I
of him
mean,
and.
like you said, it's like the most random, like last two people that would expect to be in a relationship. But I mean, it's all good, bro.
Mhm.
I feel like it's good. I mean, just like the fans that she brings in, not just looking at it from a standpoint of okay, she can introduce a whole new
Mhm.
um, type of fans to football type of thing.
Right. No, and he's set now. He's set. You know, one of the richest, if not richest, artists, music artists, after even a successful tour that
Hmm.
she had. She has loyal crowd, loyal fans, and she's not done yet. She's still relatively young. You
Oh
know what I
yeah,
mean? So
yeah,
she still has a retirement tour to do. You know what I mean, and stuff like that.
exactly.
Okay,
It's,
so this is the thing about Travis Kelsey. A source close to the celebrity couple says that Travis Kelsey put a 50-50 rule in place that him and his ex-girlfriend Kayla would split every bill down the middle, including dinners,
mm,
trips, and more. This has raised eyebrows because Travis was obviously the breadwinner, and it just seemed like they could never come to an agreement because she would never want to pay for half of anything, and he
mm,
kept making her pay for half for 5 years. So she never wanted to do a 50-50 split. This has always been a controversial thing in relationships. But how do you feel about this in relationships? Like, at least when there's a celebrity side, you know what I'm saying, where there's someone that's making a ton of money, is it justifiable? Or if he, because it seems like he established this early on
right.
that it was going to be a 50-50 split.
I mean that's all. It's all communications. I feel at the end of the day, uh, like there's couples that do it differently. Maybe somebody takes care of certain bills, somebody takes care of other bills.
Right.
Uh, but I mean, if it's something that was agreed upon during the beginning stages of the relationship, I feel like you just got to go through it, brother.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And it's definitely something I feel like you got to understand each other's financial, uh,
Exactly.
what each other is making, and also if if you know someone is struggling at one point, you could help them.
Right.
But I'll tell you this, he's not gonna have to deal with that no more.
That is true.
Him and
That is
Taylor
very
are
true.
gonna be well off. Trust me,
Yeah,
well
yeah, they're
off.
gonna be fine.
Yeah, they're gonna be fine. But even that, and now we're gonna shift over to the conversation after we caught up on some sports stuff there. Let us know if you guys want to continue hearing about sports here on the podcast. I mean, we love sports and we have a lot of stuff
Oh
to
yeah,
talk
hundred
about, but
percent.
I feel like we have to treat our, listeners, and not everyone wants to listen to sports, but let's shift over here to risk taking versus playing it safe. Before we get into this, there's a quote that Michael has for you guys, and let's hear that, and then we're gonna jump right into it.
Yeah, man, we haven't done quotes in a little bit, so I feel like we're gonna be a little rusty with this one. But this quote is, I'm gonna say the quote first, and then I'm gonna say who is it by. So the quote says, "Take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole stair. You just have to take the first step." And that was said by Martin Luther King. We already know who Martin Luther King.
Bro, no way you repeated a quote on the
Did we
videos,
did
bro.
we repeat a quote?
Yes,
No way.
bro.
No way. You're lying, bro.
I swear to you, bro.
I don't think so, bro. I don't think so.
Wow, man, you repeating
Well,
quotes
y'all
from the
let us know.
videos, man.
Well, that's a good quote. I feel,
Damn.
but is it a repeated quote for real?
Yes, you repeated it, man. I'm telling you, bro. I've heard that quote
Damn,
from you
man.
before, man.
No, I don't think.
Yes,
I'm gonna have to
sir.
look at my notes, but
I'm
I don't
telling you,
think
man.
so.
It's
I
all
don't
right,
think
man.
so. I think I said there was one that was probably close to it, but I
No,
don't
you
think I
mentioned
said this one.
You mentioned staircase and quotes, man. I'm telling you, bro. You're gonna see. I'm gonna show you later on. Anyways, let's just
All
act
right,
like that
just
didn't
do
happen, man.
it.
This is how that didn't happen. You let me down, bro. Man, what's up with you, man? Oh my god,
Man, I
bro.
don't think I repeated the quote.
Oh my god, bro. Ah, man, you really let us down, man. All right, let's just move on and get into the conversation then, man. So risk taking. What is it? What is risk taking to you, and what do you feel like is the difference between playing it safe and risk taking?
Yeah, for me, risk taking will be kind of like going outside of the societal norm, like the whole get a job, type of thing. For me, risk taking is more like stepping out of your comfort zone, trying something that you have never done before, try something that's not everybody will try to do, type of thing. And
Hmm.
then, playing it safe, we're just going by what's the quote unquote path that society has for us.
Right. Nah, for sure. So I feel like risk taking has is basically anything that has to do with you doing something abnormal or something you're not used to doing. So like you said, something you're not comfortable with or something out of your comfort zone. The reason you're not comfortable with this is because you are playing it safe. So when you play
Hmm.
it safe, you're just, it sounds super cliche, you're comfortable, you're in a relaxed state. You're not really thriving for more. You're not, knocking down that door to see, what you're capable of. And risk taking, you're, seeing these things, you're exceeding expectations, you're, trying new things to see what you're capable of. You're willing to, do something that, although you never thought you would do it, now that you're seeking better, for a better version of yourself, you're, doing other things, to see what you could do. So basically, say for instance, like we in our case, risk taking
Right.
is, moving states. uh
Yeah.
there's probably was a point in time where you're in, you feel comfortable, like we said in the past, and you're okay with that, but then it gets to a point where you feel like, man, this is boring. That's, an example of, playing it safe when you're bored. You know what I mean? And everything is repetitive. So it got to the point where we were like, man, there's more out there, and by taking the risk, you get to see what's out there. So I feel like that's very important, in my opinion. And between the two, I feel like taking risks is always going to be more beneficial. Although you could play it safe depending on the situation. Say it could be
Right.
a monetary thing.
Hmm.
Say you have large amount of money and you're comfortable.
Hmm.
Now, taking the risk is you going out there and gambling. You know what I mean?
Facts.
And losing it. So
And losing it.
there's
Yeah.
going to be a two-sided thing to this, where playing it safe can be good, taking a risk can
And
be
taking
good,
risk can be,
and
yeah.
also where playing it safe could be bad and taking a risk could be bad.
Yeah, but I mean, you can also take risk while playing it safe as well, like at the same time. Like for example, let's say the whole gambling situation. Let's say you got money, you can take the risk, like maybe let's say you take like a small portion of your money, and then you risk that to get more. And that's like essentially like if you're in business, if you're a business owner, you're taking that risk, you're taking a portion of your money and you're risking it to maybe double or 10x that amount, through whether it is a service, a product, or whatever you do.
Right. Would you say there's any time that you felt like you were a bit indecisive on taking a risk, and yet you took a risk and you are glad you took the risk?
Yeah,
As to
moving out here,
instead of,
man.
okay.
Definitely. I mean, I feel like the biggest risk that I have taken in my life has been moving to Houston, man. It's just because I never thought I was planning on moving somewhere else, but I never thought about moving all the way, half across the country. I don't know anybody here. Don't have any family near over here. So it was a huge risk, all the things that could have gone sideways. But like you said, when you take risks and everything works out, it's highly beneficial because now I'm in a situation, I'm in a bigger city where I don't know where I could possibly run into a celebrity and maybe form a relationship that way,
Hmm.
or I'm in front of way more eyeballs than what I used to be, and I have, like you say, I have the chance of running to somebody that could be like a quote unquote YouTube celebrity or social media celebrity, and we can get content out of that, or
Right.
try to.
Right. Um, I mean, that's definitely important. I feel like a move is always very challenging. It's definitely a
Hmm.
risk, unless how can I say this? Unless the situation is already like pre-planned for you. Like, say for instance, you
Right.
already have, a good paying job, you know people there, you
Mm-hmm.
have a place, a car, you know, everything is set. You know what I'm saying? That's
Right,
when
right.
it's not as much of a risk. I mean, it is a risk because you're moving, but it's not as much of a challenge that you're gonna face there. Um, I do want to say this. I think one of the more important things with risk taking and why it's important to do it is because at the end of the day, when you take risk, well, how about this? If you don't take risks, you're always prone to have regrets.
Ooh,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So that's the problem when you don't take risks. You're like, man, what if I would have did this? Or
Mm-hmm.
man, I should have did this. What would have happened if I did this? You know what I'm saying? But when you take the risk, you limit those things because you're living in those moments instead of being a what if person. So I feel like that's definitely one of the more important things about this is the regrets aspect of risk taking. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, you always got to give both sides an floor because
Right.
you know there could be regrets after taking a risk.
No, I agree. I agree.
So I think it all depends, and it's all relative to um the how to say this, how realistic you know those things could be. Because if it's something that you know, if you're gonna take a risk and you know the outcome is not gonna be good, you know what I'm saying, then
Right.
you're asking for regrets to happen, or you're expecting regrets.
Yeah.
But if it's something that you feel like you know is gonna be productive, or it's gonna be something where you're gonna benefit from it, then that's where you don't limit, like you limit yourself to regrets. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. I was gonna say exactly that. Like, uh, you having a regret about taking a risk is all depends on the outcome that you get. Like, as always, it's always easy to bring the whole gambling sample because let's say you risk $100, but somehow out of nowhere that $100 ended up becoming 20,000. That's a favorable, that's something that you won't have regrets about. But let's
Right.
say and the other situation could have been you risk $100 and you lose it, and of course you're gonna have regrets about doing that. I
Facts.
feel like definitely the outcome has a major role on whether you feel like any regret towards the situation, as well as the situation as well that you're in.
Right. I mean, where would you say it's beneficial to play it safe then? Like, where are some examples of playing it safe that you think are understandable?
Man, honestly, if you, at least for me, if the risk is, because you can definitely have like a what is called like a risk threshold. Like, I can only take so much risk, right? So I
Hmm.
will play till that, and then I'm not going above that. But I mean, if the outcome is not favorable, of course, don't even take the risk. Play it safe, 100%.
Well, there could be
Or
some
if the
times where risk taking can be addictive though, in a bad way.
no, I agree. I agree.
So that's
I
probably
agree.
where when playing it safe could be a good idea,
Hmm.
because you could you know limit yourself to you know internal damage.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I mean, and the other thing, like where I'm definitely playing it, always playing it safe, is like whether it's something that can impact my health or my life.
Hmm.
Something that can impact me, uh, like greatly in a negative way. I'm definitely playing it safe.
Hmm. So which one would you say you lean? Are you more a risk taker, or are you a person that plays it safe? Like,
I
what would you
mean,
describe yourself as?
for me, I feel like
Apart from moving, bro.
I'm more of a risk taker. You know, I mean, I'm in sales, so I'm taking risks every single day, talking to people, trying
Hmm.
to get sales and stuff like that. So, and then the whole side of what I don't speak a lot about is like, the businesses and stuff like that.
Hmm.
I feel like I'm definitely a risk taker. Um, yeah, I mean, there's certain situations where I would definitely play it safe, but for the most part, for
What's
the
the
most
awkward
part,
silence, bro?
I thought you were going to say something else, but
Nah.
yeah, no. For the most part, I'm definitely a risk taker, and like you said, it's something that I wouldn't say it's addicting, but it has a thrill to it. where you can take a risk and then assuming that everything goes right 100% of the time is the best feeling ever. It's like, yes, I
Right.
took this risk and I got exactly what I wanted.
Right.
And sometimes that's just how it is.
Hmm.
Sometimes you take the risk, everything that you wanted to happen, and you got a good outcome.
Right. Right. I think the problem is like when I say addictive, some people, like say for instance, when you said $100 and turn it into 20,000, whatever,
Right.
people see that and they keep going at it and they risk it all, even, what I'm saying, and do bigger risk and then they lose
Right.
everything.
Right.
So I feel like it all depends on how you do it. I think I'm more neutral. I definitely play it safe to an aspect of like I'd rather let things come to me and then see how I manage with, oh, should I take a risk or should I chill on this one? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, instead of just
Right.
risk take, risk take, risk take, risk take, you know what I'm saying? I think it all depends. And it has to be relative to what you want in life. And if it's something that's immediate impact, then you have to take the risk. Because if it's
Right.
something that you could put on the back burner or whatever, you'd be like, I can come back
Hmm.
to it. But if it's something that needs immediate attention and you need to take a risk to do so, like for instance, moving, like the time, you get older with years, so it's a
Exactly.
ticking bomb. So like you got to take a risk, like I got to go now
I got
before
it though now.
have
Yeah.
kids, have families, have whatever, you know what I'm saying. Then it becomes more of a challenge to do, and it's not as easy to get your stuff and go and try something. So I think it all has to be relative to what you want and what you're trying to get to in life. I think the biggest problem of those who aren't risk takers, though, and this is something I'm gonna finish up with here for me, at
Hmm.
least. I think those who don't risk take are more afraid of failure than the risk taking itself.
Mm.
So when you fear failure, I feel like that's something that limits you to what it limits you to many things. It limits you to the ability of knowing what you're capable of, and it limits you to the ability of seeing past the present and seeing into the future. Because you're like, man, you're kind of already expecting the risk to fail, so
Right.
you're already having that failure in your head. So I feel like in life you kind of have to expect good things, and it's all like the manifestation thing. When you manifest good things happen. So if you're manifesting negative things or failure and all this stuff, it's prone to happen sooner or later. It's gonna happen. And it's just true. Like you got to live your life like, think positive, think the best outcome. And although, like I said, if it's something that needs your attention and you have to take a risk, you have to leave something behind, you got to move from something, you got to, change something in your life, just take the risk and let God handle the rest. You know what I mean? There's a reason
I agree.
why, success doesn't come to those that are just playing it safe. You know what I mean?
Right.
Unless you're
Right.
born into generational wealth. But
Right.
yeah, so I think definitely failure is one of the big reasons to those who, like, fear of failure is one of the reasons for those who don't want to take risks. And to wrap it up here, what would you say is your advice to those who do fear failing and lack the risk taking trait? And we'll wrap it up
Hmm.
there.
Yeah, I mean the main thing is start taking like small risks. Like you gotta go slowly. Like if you don't take risks at all in your life and you want to start taking more risks, start with the little things, and then you can go from there. And like I said, everybody has a threshold when it comes to taking risks. Like for some people, they risk everything every single day, but some people they're more, I would say, strategic with how they take risks. And that would say be the number one advice I would give somebody. Just start slowly, taking small risks daily, and then go from there. And then you can build your threshold.
Right. And definitely like have a plan and
Hmm.
plan A, plan B, plan B for sure.
Exactly.
Because I mean, who are we to say every risk is going to work out? You know what I mean?
Right.
There's
Right.
risks that are prone not to work, but don't
Hmm.
expect it not to work. You know what I'm saying? Think it's going to work. And when you think it's going to work, although it doesn't, you already have the plan B ready and you're going to attack the plan B even harder. You know what I'm saying? So that way
Exactly.
you could succeed. Although it's not what you wanted, you could succeed elsewhere, but still find success. Because, and that goes back to, like, for instance, in college,
Hmm.
uh many people go in with an idea of a certain major,
Right.
but the path is something else. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, no, this is where you're better, or this is where opportunities are bigger for you, or this is where there's more opportunities in this side. And you quickly see that. And that's how, that's plan A and plan B. So with the plan B, your new major, your new career path, and you attack it more and find ways to succeed and scale up in that major. You know what I'm saying? Although
Right.
it's not what you wanted, you make it yours, make it like you wanted it from the first place. That way
Mm-hmm.
you could take all of the benefits from it, and take advantage of it and actually enjoy doing it. Because it's very, I'd say, I don't know, I don't want to give a number, but it's very uncommon that the first thing you go into with college, like that first major, that you end up with that major when you're finished up in school.
I'm a testament to that, man.
Right.
I want you guys to actually engage. I want you guys to comment how many times you think I switched majors back in college.
And next week, in the next episode,
and I'll let you guys know in next episode. So comment. If you're listening, leave a review, saying how many times you think I switched majors in college. And if you're listening, leave a review. If you're on YouTube, leave a comment right here.
Right. Yeah, guys. So thank you, guys. Thank you for listening. Really quick episode. We wanted to touch on this important conversation. Also touch on some interesting stuff that's going on in the football world. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you leave a rating on the audio platforms. It's always important to comment something on the video. Also, leave a review if you're listening. But the most important thing to us, you see where that number is at. We're trying to get up to 900, guys. Come on, man. Why is it so hard to get us to 900? It's like YouTube literally froze us. The YouTube not.
Oh yeah. I don't know what it is, man. We are 843. Come on, we need what? 67 more, 57 more.
Something.
Man, my math ain't mathing today. 57 more subscribers. That's how much we need. We will appreciate it if you guys get us to that. I'm not even going to talk about merch no more because, yeah.
man, and that's something that we could keep in the conversation. Like, we took the risk of starting a podcast not knowing the challenges that it may present. You know what I mean?
Facts.
And with time, we've seen the challenges it presents, and we have learned on the fly. Luckily, we have learned on the fly with, the help of each other, not having to seek elsewhere. And I feel like that's what makes you better, at the end of the day, at your craft is, accepting the challenges and knowing how to overcome them on your own. You know what I'm saying? That's how you become better at something. And the podcast, there has been a ton of challenges, and a ton of stuff we were never expecting. Who would have thought? You know what I'm saying? I would have never thought virtual would have been a thing. I'll be honest with you.
That is true. That is very true.
I was even opposed to. I told Michael, like, even like in the pandemic, or when they were still going on, like, man, we gotta find a way. I just can't do virtual.
Right.
And we found a way, but it is what it is, and we're still taking advantage of this. There's a lot of hurdles that come with it, and that's part of the risk taking that we encountered. That was something we weren't expecting, but it became a thing.
That's right.
And now we're here. But hey, sooner or later, God willing, back in person and giving you guys great content as always. So guys, please subscribe, and always remember to subscribe and let's fly.
Peace.
Peace.
Amor y paz. Hablamos el martes.
Next week.